Hello and welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Early Wine, and you know what I like about this time of year?
What?
Fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
I
like
love
real
fall
talk.
clothes.
Real
I
talk.
love fall
I
clothes.
like fall clothes better than anything. I like boots. I like to wear boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like fall clothes real well.
I like to wear socks. So I like to wear socks with my shoes. So I'm not big on...
That's so weird.
I'm not big on sandals or flip-flops. I mean, I do wear them because it gets super hot. But
Yeah.
Man, there's nothing better than like a cozy pair of shoes and your socks on, your feet are warm.
I think you
and
lost
like
your mind.
sweatshirts and cozy clothes. Love it.
You love... Okay.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't want anything on my feet. I like.
Uh-huh.
I will. You like when I do work this year. I have my favorite Croc flip flops.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wear my shoes to the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Put on my Croc flip flops.
Mm-hmm.
And then change back in.
Okay, I wear
I have
socks
to.
all the time, even like at home. Like I have to have socks on, and I sleep in socks, and I want to be buried in socks. So make sure that happens if I die before you. Okay. I don't want my feet
What
to.
the
I don't
heck?
want my feet to be cold. I hate having my feet cold, and if I don't have socks on, my feet are cold. I
You
don't
and
want
Jim,
cold feet.
You and Jim are the same person. Jim, he is the same thing. He either has house shoes on or socks.
Uh-huh.
I'm barefoot all the time.
Uh-huh.
I'm barefoot inside, outside, all the time.
Mm-hmm. Nope, not
Yeah,
me.
Jim's the same way. His feet, gosh, they get, they're just like cold skeleton feet. He got bony feet.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
oh, there's nothing worse.
Cold skeleton feet.
Cold skeleton. He doesn't watch the show.
Yeah,
He's not gonna say
he'll never know
He'll
unless
never know what I just
somebody
said.
tells him. But oh gosh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I can't deal with it. No,
Yeah.
I can't stand. I will wear flip. My Bordella McGrew's another one. Bordella's one of those times. Well, then where were we at? She likes shoes too, but she likes sandals and she likes heels and that type of thing. Gosh, I think it was Bordella promised Chris and I were going to see Michael Bublé.
oh
And it was like January, and we were over in St. Louis, and it snowed. Oh, Bert, we walked from, because we were staying at that Drury Inn, and then we were just walking right to the venue right there.
she wore flip flops.
Yeah, she did. Right through the snow and everything. You would have died.
Yeah, I would have died.
But this was a few years
died.
ago, so that time she was probably going through menopause, because that changes everything.
Oh yeah. Oh, I the funniest cartoon, and it is like this is changing the subject a little bit, but it was a woman and she was having a hot flash, so her husband took her out and laid her on the front step, and it melted the ice off of the first step, and he's like, "Come on, you got 2 more in you," because there was 2 more steps. Actually, I have it on my phone.
You got 2 more in you.
I'll see if I can send that
That's
to Ty.
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah, it was
gosh.
something like that. Let
That
me
is
see
terrible,
if I can find
and
it.
I can totally relate. I can absolutely relate to that.
Yes.
It is awful.
Yes.
I don't know. It is just like, it's like, okay, it's not like, we haven't
Did
been,
I save
Eve,
it? Yep.
Eve didn't put us in a ton of, but why we have to go through menopause. It's like, people say, they're always like, why, when you get to heaven, what are you going to ask God? Which when you get to heaven, you're not going to care because you're going to be rejoicing and praising God. But there is part of me that's going to be like, dude, what's up with the menopause?
Uh-huh.
Why'd you torture me with hot flashes?
No kidding. I'm going to send this to
Was Eve
Ty.
that bad? I mean, come on. Childbirth, okay. Monthly cycles, okay. But then you have to kill us with the hot flashes.
Mm-hmm. I had one in church the other day, and I had to sit down. It was like I was so hot, I thought I was going to pass out. I'm like, okay.
Well, you hate the heat anyway.
I know, but
Why did you
I
have-
don't.
you never
I don't
had-
have them hardly ever anymore. But I sit in the balcony, and that balcony,
It gets hot.
Some days it's perfect. Other days I don't know what is different, but it would be so hot up there.
That is so funny. Yep. I will
So-
be like, okay, what's up with that? I've been sharing. I love that 70s show.
Yes.
It is so funny. And the lady that plays Kitty,
Uh-huh.
and they're always I'm sharing tons of reels on that with Jim on, because it's just like she's going through so many things, because you're just like,
Uh-huh.
1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see if Ty gets that email and he can pull it
They
up.
can
maybe.
pull that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can pull that up before you pull up my ad if you want to, if you get it. You never know what's going to happen down here in the basement. But I sent him a picture early. Maybe that will get the email go through. But I do like fall fashions.
Yes.
I do like.
I like the color palette of fall.
Oh, me too.
The mustard
Me
yellows,
too.
the burgundy. I love all
Okay,
that.
this
Yeah,
is
here
funny.
we go.
Oh
Let's see.
my gosh!
Yeah.
Come on, you got to have one more.
Yeah.
That third
step
step
is still icy.
icy.
And I have felt like that before, where it's just like I could go outside and throw myself in the snow.
Be
Yeah.
like, shh.
Yes. And if you're a man watching this, you probably don't understand. But I'm telling you, it's a hot like you've never experienced.
It's like your veins. Your blood turns to lava. It's like and everybody's like, "Oh, I've worked outside and get hot." No, it's from the inside, and it just goes. Whoa.
Yeah, and you can feel it start to creep through your whole body, and then it's just like, you're so hot.
I always explain it to, it's like, when Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker are fighting, and they turn the lightsaber on, it goes. Whoom. It's like that's like from the tips of my toes to the top of my head. I just start melting. My mom and dad, I'll never forget, they got into an argument one time when my mom was going through menopause. And my dad was sitting there going, "Oh, good Lord, Dallas, you can't be that hot." About that time, my mom had glasses on. She looked at him, and they steamed a little bit. There was a little bit of steam. She was so hot. And he was like, "Okay, I'm not going to say it." She was like,
yeah,
good
she was
Lord,
probably
Dallas.
about to smack him. I'd bet.
Yeah, she probably was.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
so funny. But yeah, but I do like fall fashion. I'm not a big sweater person because they kind of make me itchy, but I like to layer. And I'll tell you another thing is like these sweatshirts and stuff that they're coming out with. Eagle Station has some fantastic sweatshirts.
They're so soft on the
They're
inside.
so soft. I got to go get me some. Diane got a couple the other day, and then I sent Carol Willison over. I'm like, "Hey, go check out these." But I like the layering. I like that type of thing.
Yeah, me too.
But I love sweatshirts, but I'm not a big hoodie fan because it bumps up the. I cut this is how weird I am. So like in the wintertime, I cut my hair off short because everything is a little bit more crazy right there. But in the summertime, I like it longer so I can pull it up. But I did. Yeah. I cut it off the other day, Saturday. I got hot and went home, jumped in the shower before I went to Jim's volleyball game, and just
cut your hair.
Cut my hair.
Why not?
In my bedroom with a dull pair of scissors.
You apparently knew what you were doing.
I think it looks okay.
Yeah, I think it looks like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know. Just pick
like
up
you might have been doing it for a few years.
It's curly hair. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about this ad.
You got an ad for us. Let's kick off the show. What is it?
This one is another one. It's a ketchup ad.
Oh.
But it's also talking about aluminum. Okay, look at how surprised she is. You mean a woman can open it? It's not advertising the ketchup. It's advertising
the aluminum lid.
The aluminum lid. Easily, without a knife blade, a bottle opener, or even a husband. All it takes is a dainty grasp, an easy 2-finger twist, and the ketchup is ready to pour. We call this safe sealing bottle cap the Alcoa High Top. It is made for pure food-loving Alcoa aluminum. It spins off and back on again without muscle power because an exclusive Alcoa process tailors to each bottle's threads after it is on the bottle. By vacuum sealing both top and sides, the high top gives purity a double guard. You'll recognize this attractive, tractable high top when you see it on your grocer's shelf. It's long, it's white, it's grooved, and it's on the most famous and flavorful brands. Put the bottle that wears it in your basket. Save fumbling, fuming, and fingers at opening time with the most cooperative cap in the world, the Alcoa High Top Closure. So it makes you wonder if that's like, because like Heinz used to just have that. I wonder if that's like.
This is Del Monte.
That's got to be like the first almost
easy to open ketchup bottle.
This ad's from the 50s.
Yeah. Well, that was a good invention. Nobody calls it the Alcoa lid anymore, but good for them for inventing an easier to open lid. I mean, that's important.
Yeah, because
cute girl too. I mean,
she's adorable. That's a cute ad. It's kind of like because like if you can't open it, something like you hit the bottom of it. Or, I remember the old Heinz bottles with the little white hard, and you take a butter knife and knock to unseal that. But it makes you wonder if that was like the first really twist top off. Type thing we've ever had.
Yeah, and I told the story before about the time that I was trying to get ketchup out of a glass bottle at the, not Julian's.
Duke's?
No, what was Ann Venable's
Angelo's.
At the Angelo's.
Would you just slop it all over everybody?
Well, I was like, it wouldn't come out. And somehow I was like this, but a big glob of it went. And my grandma was sitting right next to me, and a glob of ketchup about that big landed in her hair. But the funniest thing was that she didn't
even
know it. She didn't know it. I had to tell her. And
is it Zelda?
No, it wasn't. It was Rose. It was Rose Strike. So I was like,
"Oh boy,
Grandma, I'm really sorry, but I got a little, a little ketchup,
a little dab,
ketchup."
do you?
And she's like, "Oh goodness, okay." I'm like, "No, don't touch it. I'll get it."
Did she have white hair?
I have a little napkin. I'm like, "Hang on, I'm gonna get it." And then I'm like. It took 3 or 4 napkins. It was a mess.
Did she have white hair too?
She had no. She had dark. She had dark hair. Dark.
Oh, okay.
It was maybe a little gray in it at that time, but no, she had dark hair for a long time. But
because that would have been really great had she had white hair.
Yeah. No.
And it looked like you knocked her down.
Oh my gosh. Luckily, she couldn't see it, and luckily we were in public.
She
didn't let me have it. She didn't give me a hard time.
Now, I don't hear you talk. I Zelda all the time, but I don't hear you talk about Grandma Rose.
Grandma Rose, she was amazing.
Rose A-Strike.
I miss her every day.
She had a few kids, right?
Yep, there were 8 of them.
There were 8 of them.
A-Strike kids, yes.
Yeah.
And I loved her dearly, and she passed away in 2015.
15.
Yeah. 15, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so she was awesome, and
how old
she was
was
my mom's mom.
How was she? Oh, was she when she passed?
Well, that's a good question. I don't remember.
Because Zelda's.
She was born in 29, and if she passed in 2015, and somebody good with math can do that. But
30, so that'd be 71, 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 86.
86.
Yeah, she'd have been 86. You got some long gene pool in you. Because how old is Zelda?
My grandma Zelda is still alive, and she just had a birthday, and she turned 95.
95.
She was also born in 29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's awesome too. Had the best grandmas. So.
Yeah. I only knew my dad's mother, Iris. She passed away. My mom knew her. She passed away when my sister Diane, was a baby. We didn't know Harry Hemphill. My dad's. There's 2 Harry Hemphills. My dad's brother and my dad's dad, and he died. My mom never even met him. But Iris, I never did know her. But apparently, she was just a little short lady that stayed home and took care of her family. And
I love that name, Iris. I think that's so classy.
I love my grandma's name, Iris Alethea. Iris Alethea. She was a Martin from there. And actually, I've got a really good, I want to cover her, one of her family. I've got 2 really neat family stories, tragic family stories that happened on the Martin side that I'd like to have covered on the cemetery tour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one's a murder and one was a tragic death.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're pretty neat. But yeah, and then my granny that I knew my entire life was Doris Franklin from Clay City, and my granny was not a normal granny. My granny was 4'11", and my granny was I'm a lot like my granny, outspoken, knows it all, never admits when she's wrong, and cusses just a little bit.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
My granny was fantastic. Yeah, my granny was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was funny. But I miss my granny, too. She passed away in 2003.
Okay.
You never get them back. They're great. But we're going to a couple of different stories today to cover, and we will come right back after this message.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank To Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we found a really neat Bill Cheney real estate back in 2001. We're probably going to start bringing some of these out because it's interesting with the high prices of everything.
I love these. This
is kind of fun.
It's an old real estate ad from 2001, and real estate in Clay County was not quite the same market it is today.
Yeah. Okay, so some of them don't. I only want to do the ones that have some of them are just like close to schools, 127 Flora Avenue, 2-bedroom, blah, 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 but doesn't have a price. I only want to talk about the ones with the price. So here we go. New listing, Beth.
Okay.
10 acres.
Okay.
2-bedroom home.
Okay.
Barn and storage building.
Okay.
Great room with breakfast bar, new bathroom, central heat, city water near Charlie Brown Park.
Oh.
Near Charlie Brown Park. New listing. 10 acres, 2-bedroom home, barn storage. And I love the fact that it's got like city water in the largest.
Yeah, print.
That was
a
a big deal.
You didn't have a well anymore.
Okay, 2001,
okay.
Beth. What
First,
are you going to...
I'm just going to say, this sounds like if it was today, it would probably be at least 350,000, I bet.
Probably.
At least today. It's 2 bedrooms, so that's against it, but it's 10 acres. That's awesome.
Yep.
And back then, I'm going to guess 80,000.
55,000.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that
55,000?
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's something fun.
Okay.
Horoscopes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what are you?
An Aquarius.
Of course you are. Age of Aquarius. Okay, here, you want to know what okay, we're going to do some real quick. This is going to be fun too. Okay, so January 24th, 2001, Aquarius. Gather up the resources and information you still need. There will be delays. You can count on that. This is as it should be. Do not push. Did anything weird happen to you then?
No. And at that time, in 2001, I had been married for a couple years. We had a nice, quiet house. We were buying a new house, not very long after that, but no, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
Here's was mine. Okay, now at this time in 2001, I've been married, 13 years. Virgo, a romantic connection is worth the trouble to get there. Sure, the work is piling up, but that's okay.
What were you up to at that time, Stacey? Come on now.
I don't know. Abby, what are you?
Abby's a Gemini.
Gemini. Okay, now if you were born, but you're only 21, so if you were born, this would back in 2001. If you brown bag it, you can save enough for a nice excursion. Let a fascinating foreigner talk you out of your dull routine.
Ooh. Who sat down and wrote all these? I mean, I don't believe in any of that.
I don't either, but
it would
it's
be
funny.
Fun to sit down and write them all.
Seriously, because
like, I mean,
come on. I mean, yeah, I know people that live and die by the horoscope.
I know.
Ty, what are you? Pisces. Okay. And what year were you born? 03. Oh, 2 years. This is 2 years before you were born.
Okay.
A close friend and a distant one both have good advice. Listen to them. Don't completely ignore your inner voices. Just don't be intimidated by them. I've got more inner voices than anybody.
Yeah.
Even shake a stick at.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
I just happened to see that.
I can't wait to hear more of those real estate
Hometown
ads.
Journal.
Yeah, and my house was probably the one I live in now that we bought in 01 or 02. I don't even know when we bought it, but or maybe we bought it in 2000. I don't know. I'd have to ask Jason, but we've lived there a long time. I would love to come across the ad for it because Bill Cheney owned it. I mean, Bill Cheney was the real estate agent for that property when we bought it.
Well, we probably
that'd be cool if we came across it.
Okay, so I've got a couple different stories here today. I came across, once again, from the Hometown Journal. Man, I wish I had every one of these things I ever had.
No, I want to make myself a note to figure out how to get those. There's copies of them somewhere. Every copy was put into this great big bound leather book, and there's multiple.
Where?
Where? I don't know.
Where
That's
is it?
Well, there's more than one copy. Like each year would be a different book. So there were several of these big leather books. And then you opened it, and it was just one paper after another and it might have not even been a whole year's worth in each book. It might have been a quarter, like a 3-month period. I don't know. I can't remember the details on that. But they were stored in the back of the newspaper office.
Yeah, but what happened to those?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm going to make myself a note.
Who would even know, though? Everybody's passed.
I don't know.
And so much of that stuff, when Bill passed, just got thrown out.
Well, if anyone would have, surely they donated those to the library or something. Donna Corey, if you're watching, do you know?
Yeah.
And if you do, let me know.
Yeah, that would be, we got to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're full of, I mean, that's just where I don't even, sometimes I'll go off and mention, I got these, like I said, God bless Pat Cooper for keeping all those. And I don't know how many, but I think Paula got rid of a lot of the other ones before I got there. But anyway, I got a lot. Okay, so we're going to talk about, I called you the other day and was like, have you ever heard of Sassafras Mound?
No.
No. So Sassafras Mound was a school, and also there's a forgotten cemetery there.
Cool.
Cool, right?
Where?
Okay, I'm fixing to tell you. It's
Okay.
Oskaloosa. We're going to Oskaloosa.
Oskaloosa. Okay.
That's where we're headed now,
Okay.
Oskaloosa. Sassafras Mound is a high point in Section 5 of Oskaloosa Township and is also the site of Sassafras Mound School, sometimes known only as Mound School. Probably built in the 1870s or 80s. The school, like most rural schools, had fallen in despair due to not being used in years. At first glance, and she's right about this, this is a Rena Lentz column. At first glance, one might think this to be the remains of an old country store. But of course, Harley Bonham is a Oskaloosa boy.
Does it show a picture? Because I kind of remember.
I
remember this building.
Yeah, there is a picture, Ty, I sent you, babe. No, that's a house. That's the next. We're going to talk about that next.
There.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah. So, and she's right. That looks like it would be a.
Yes.
But Harley Bonham assures me that it was indeed Mound School. Mr. Bonham is a native of Oskaloosa Township area. So Rena actually considered him a expert. What appears to have been the front or main entrance of the school is facing east or away from the main road, with the back of the building next to the road. The school sits on the corner of Kite Road and Cardinal Lane. They're named now because of the 911 road labelings.
Kite and Cardinal. I think I know right where that's set.
But
I don't think it's still there.
Oh, no, because we went around Oskaloosa.
Uh-huh.
Very neat. One photo depicts the Mound School class of 1944. The school was closed in the consolidation process when the new Oskaloosa School was built on the Kinmoney Blacktop around 1954. I've got a picture of the kids, too. You want to throw that up there? So here are the kids. Mound School, at this is the new school, 1944. Emma Smith was the teacher. The names of the kids are Rolla Cook, Marjorie Simmons, Alice Ray Owens, Donna Smith, Ann Smith, Jerry Smith, Leon Simmons, Bob Simmons, and Harold Simmons. So basically, they're just like families.
Yeah, it was the Simmons family and the Smith family.
Basically.
And then a couple extras.
And a couple extras,
Yeah.
That's just a neat picture from them in 1944.
Yeah, cute.
Very neat. 3/4 of a mile. Okay, so that's the school.
Okay.
Now, this is because there's this lost cemetery, too.
Uh-huh. And I bet I know right where this is, too, but I can't wait to hear it.
Okay. 3/4 of a mile north
Uh-huh.
and back east about the same distance across a recently cut hayfield and tucked back in the corner of the woods is the Nixon Cemetery. Okay? There were over 60 gravestones in the Nixon Cemetery.
Okay, not the same cemetery I'm thinking of. It only has like maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, this one's got 60 graves in it.
Wow, that's a pretty big one.
It is, and I feel like I've seen this fence here before. I don't know. I can't remember.
We need to find it.
I know. I think it's going to be one of those that's, like she said, lost. The cemetery lay behind a very neat iron gate on which could be seen the name of Nixon, proudly displayed. But this is where the pride ended. A lot of the gravestones, we're done with pictures on this, what I'm talking about now. A lot of the gravestones apparently are just like anything else. It's like nobody's taking care of this cemetery.
Yeah.
Everything's growing up, and most of the gravestones are laid over.
Yeah, so sad.
But we need to, Benjamin Nixon, he died, and this is what it's named after. His is one there. He died on October 27th, 1855. So in order, I would like to look up Benjamin Nixon. So
okay.
And I wonder, like when we're doing Find a Grave, would you actually just type in that?
We could probably just type in Benjamin Nixon, and we could also type in the county. Well, yeah. We can find him.
We'll find him, because for them to,
if this cemetery is listed on Find a Grave, not all cemeteries have been researched.
That's true. Yeah.
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 Yep.
But most of them are laid over and not standing anymore. Oh, and I hate to see them laid over and broken. It just makes me
There's
sad.
Several like that at Elmwood, too, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
And, okay, this is kind of just real quick. At Elmwood, the guy that donated the field that became the cemetery for Elmwood Cemetery, his name was Samuel Kinnaman, and that was his cornfield, and he donated it to become a cemetery. His marker in that whole big cemetery is like this big. And it's cracked and broken.
Now, see, we need to fix that, too.
Yeah.
We need to get Sam White's fixed. And
there needs to be almost like a plaque put next to it that says, this guy is the guy that donated the cornfield. Like, some of these old ones need a little bit explanation. Same thing with Samuel White. Like, he's the guy that founded Flora. Like, put something out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an expensive stone. Just one of those little black...
because right there at the junior high is, General Parsons.
Yeah.
There's a plaque. I think I would like to see more and more of that. I also think Maysville needs one, talking about Maysville.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a county thing or would that be a...
I don't know if citizens just have to write in. I don't know.
That would be something interesting to find out about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway, go ahead with your story. I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think we should do something like that. According to the list of those buried there, the oldest grave is that of Ruth Nixon, wife of Joshua Nixon. Listen to this. She was born in 1792 and died in 1841 at the age of 48 years, 9 months, and 25 days. There were several buried in the 1840s. The most recent burial, according to the book, was Cynthia Petrie Long, wife of Henry Long, who died in 1907 at the age of 60. So, so the first person is Ruth Nixon. Man, she was born in 1792.
Wow.
We need to take a commercial break, and we'll come up and finish this. Then we're going to talk about the Paine family from Xenia.
Okay.
But we'll be right back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we are talking about Sassafras Mound, the Lost School, and the Forgotten Cemetery, the Nixon Cemetery. And we're talking a little bit about who is buried there. Other names found here, in addition to the Nixon and Long, are Robinson, Allen, Keene, Clark, Riley, Cochran, Roderick, Kinnison, Carson, Troutman, Smith, and Finch.
Okay.
So there's about 60 graves up there. The 2 Finch graves are the children of Dr. and Mrs. Amos Finch. Dr. Finch was a well-known doctor in that area.
We talked about him once.
We did talk about Dr. Finch in the 1860s. The children, ages 3 years and 9 months, respectively died within 2 months of each other.
Oh, my gosh.
In 1867.
That poor mother.
Oh, boy.
It was probably some disease that would
Probably.
easily be. It's probably like the flu, or like a stomach virus.
Oh, yeah. Or what? Dysentery.
Yeah, bad water.
I believe the doctor and his wife were buried in the Stipp Cemetery, also in Oskaloosa Township. So the children are buried in Nixon, but the parents are buried in Stipp.
Let's stop for a second.
That's weird.
And question that.
That's weird. That don't make sense.
I'm sorry, but if I pray I never lose a child. But if I did, I think I would want to be buried by that child. And I know, technically, I mean, if you're a believer, you're not really there. But I don't know. I just want us to be together.
Well, it is. I mean, I know somebody right now who lost a baby when they lived somewhere else, and so
right. Well,
now
that's
they
different.
live here, they're
That's
moving.
different.
They're moving that. They're going.
Okay, they're going to move the baby.
Yeah, they are in the process of getting that done now because she's getting older and they have a family. They have a family cemetery, and she wants that her baby. He died.
Right.
He died when he was just a few months old. So they are bringing that.
Yeah.
Bringing that.
Well,
there's a lot
for
of red
those
tape
that-
into doing that.
I know. For those that can't afford to do that or don't, I get it. But for this family that lived in Xenia and had their children buried in this, or Oskaloosa or wherever they were, had these 2 children buried in this Oskaloosa cemetery, but yet they were buried in one down the road.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not be right there by them?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's strange to me.
Definitely. Well, I mean, because my grandfather donated the west side of Clay City Cemetery, and at the top of the hill, we got all spots up there. My mom, we're going up there.
Oh, you're gonna be in Clay City?
I'll be in Clay City, but with my
okay.
parents. Yeah, the hemp hills are all scattered out throughout Elmwood. But the Franklins, when my grandpa donated that land right at the top of the hill underneath the tree, there's like.
I can't believe you don't want to be in Elmwood. You've spent so much time there.
I know, I spent so much time in Elmwood, but my mom and dad are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going over there. I'm going to be cremated anyway. I'll probably show up in Elmwood sometimes. But anyway, that's the story of this Sassafras Mound in Oskaloosa Township. They are a part of Clay County.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of a neat. I don't know. I just anytime,
I wrote it down. So next time we go cemetery hopping, we're going to try to.
Yeah, we want to try to find that. We definitely want to try to find
I bet
that.
Darla Simmons at the Genealogical Society can help us figure out where it is too. She knows all of the cemeteries.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of a neat. I don't know. It's just kind of a neat thing. Now we're going to switch over here to the Paine family.
Okay.
Now I thought this was very interesting because I want to talk a little bit about this Paine guy. He was actually a poet, and you said when you and I were talking one time. We had covered a poet one other time,
yes,
didn't we?
Yes, we did. And he was the poet laureate of Clay County, I think is what they called him. But he lived kind of by the Louisville area at the church that is east of Louisville. That is the oldest church in the county. Can't think of it.
I'm blank.
Hoosier Prairie.
Okay.
He lived in the Hoosier Prairie area.
Okay, yeah. This guy was
I think he was called
Xenia.
the Hoosier Poet or something. We talked about him on an earlier episode. You can go back through our episodes on YouTube and find it. But yeah, so who knew that Clay County had so many poets?
Right.
Because there was another one. Clay County had another poet that was barely in Clay County. It was like by the Mason area. I think it was like considered Mason, but I think he was barely in Clay County or close to it also. So there's like 3 poets now.
Interesting.
I didn't know that was a real job.
Hey, Ty, the first picture I'm going to have you pull up is the picture of the house. Okay, we're going to Xenia.
Okay.
Did you ever drive by one of those big old 2-story houses and wonder to yourself just who lived there? Mm-hmm. And what were they like? Mm-hmm. Well, we have all passed the Samuel Paine house in Xenia.
Okay.
Let's put up a picture here. This is the 2-story brick house.
Yep.
It is just south of the elementary school. Well, it used to be the elementary school. And this house was built by the Paine family. I love this house. Hosicks live here now. Mm-hmm. And the thing about that house is like the Hosick, she is the great-great-granddaughter of Samuel Paine.
Oh, cool.
So this home has still remained in the family.
Oh, that's neat.
I would love to go in there because I've always been fascinated by it. But we all recognize this when you're driving through, just on the left-hand side of the road, which is the east-hand side of the east side of the road, just south of the school. Well, we've passed the Samuel Paine house many times, and I like I said, I've always been fascinated by it.
I'm not picturing it there, though. I was thinking it was...
Oh, it's right there by the school.
Yeah, it is. Okay, you're right. I was thinking it was further down.
Yeah.
I don't go through Xenia very often.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, the only reason Mac was in school, when Mac went into the 4th grade, that was when they kind of shut down Washington School. So some of the kids went to Lincoln, some of the kids went to Xenia. It was altered years, so Mac was the year that the South Enders went to Xenia.
Okay.
And I drove around it all the time.
Okay.
I don't know who built it, but it was reportedly erected in 1859.
Wow.
With the Samuel E. Paine moving there till in 73. So the Paine family did not build it. Somebody built it in 59, but they moved in it into 73.
Okay. So I have a comment on that.
Okay.
So they built this huge 2-story brick home in 1859. Mm-hmm. Okay. At the same time, only 4 years earlier, in 1854, Samuel White, the founder of Flora, was building his first home in Flora, and it was a log cabin.
Right. So whoever built this...
Yeah, this would have looked like big money compared to what was happening in Flora at the time.
Somebody with cash did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know. We'll have to find that out.
Okay, keep going.
Listen to this. Samuel Estabrook Paine was born on October 1st, 1824, in Brookfield, Orange County, Vermont.
Oh, I love Vermont.
I know you do.
My favorite state.
To Elijah and Cynthia Estabrook Paine. At the age of 17, he went to New Bedford, Massachusetts, where he clerked in a store for 4 years. He met and married Mercy C. Kirby of Dartmouth, Massachusetts, who was the daughter of Nicholas Kirby, a sailor on a whaling ship. So it's always fascinating to me that these people from Maine and Vermont and all over the country end up in Clay County.
I know.
It is crazy.
Why stop here? I mean,
I know
why stop here? Because at the time it was covered in prairie grass, very thick, hard to walk through prairie grass. There had to be a ton of insects.
Oh yeah.
It was hot and humid at the time that they were traveling. I'm sure because they probably weren't traveling in the winter. And why would that be so appealing? I don't know. But I'm glad they did, but it's just odd to me. Go ahead.
Samuel Paine moved to Bentonsport, Iowa in 1854 and worked in the mercantile business. He raced Company 1, 19th Iowa Volunteer Infantry and mustered in as captain. August 6, 1862. While serving in the Battle of Prairie Grove, Arkansas, he was severely wounded in his left thigh, which left him disabled for service, and he was discharged April 1st, 1863. It was in 1865 that he and his wife moved to Xenia and settled on a farm west of town. He donated land for a school, and it was known as the Paine School.
As it should be.
As it should be. In 1873, the Paine family moved to the 2-story brick house located on the main road just north of the main part of Xenia. The majestic house still standing today and is occupied by the great-great-granddaughter of Samuel, who is Lois Tully Hosick and her husband, J.I. Hosick. Samuel lived to be 98 years of age.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's a long time for back then.
Oh, yeah. He died in 1923. His wife, Mercy, his wife's name's Mercy.
Yeah.
I love it. His wife, Mercy, died in 1905 at the age of 83. Now, Samuel and Mercy had 5 children: Lois, Carrie, Frank, Fanny, and Albert. Okay?
Okay.
Frank was married to Mary Ayres and served as postmaster in Xenia for a while. He died, get this, he died a tragic death being struck and killed by lightning at the age of 36.
Gosh.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's sad.
Okay. Fanny married Joseph E. Tully. The Paine's youngest child, Albert, led a life of self-achievement, becoming quite an accomplished writer. Born in 1861, he was educated in the Xenia Public School. In 1895, he moved to New York, where he worked in editorials for several periodicals.
Good for him.
He is best remembered as a biographer and a close friend to Mark Twain.
Oh my gosh.
Whom he met in 1901. Let's show the picture of Albert Paine. This is Albert Bigelow Paine. And he's the one that actually ends up coming back to Clay County, and he's the one that moves back into the family.
And he was friends with Mark Twain.
And he was friends with Mark Twain.
Ah,
isn't that something?
that's so cool.
It is pretty neat.
I mean, you just don't think about people like that living in Xenia.
Yeah. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll
Okay.
come back and finish the story of the Paine house.
Okay.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Give me our lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas,
What?
you better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we're talking about the Paine family. They were from Xenia, traveled here from Massachusetts.
And I think it's important to note that this Paine family is spelled P-A-I-N-E.
Yeah.
So it's separate from the Paines of Flora, which are P-A-Y-N-E. Okay, so it's not that Paine.
It's kind of like the Pierces, P-I-E-R-C-E or P-E-A-R-C-E, yeah.
This is P-A-I-N-E, like as in Thomas Paine, who wrote back of the Constitution, right? Isn't that how he spelled his P-A-I-N-E?
I think he was P-A-I-N-E.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about Albert Bigelow Paine. He's the youngest child of Samuel and Mercy Paine. And actually he's a poet and he was a writer. And he was a friend of Mark Twain. And it literally says a close friend of Mark Twain. They met in 1901. He had 3 volumes published in 1912 on the life of Twain. This was 2 years after Twain's death.
Oh.
Well, that's kind of an interesting. We might need to look that up.
Yeah.
This biography on the famous humorist has been highly praised and regarded over the years. Albert Bigelow Paine also wrote about the life of cartoonist Thomas Nast in 1904 and actress Lillian Gish in 1932, as well as publishing adventure stories and short biographical works for children. So he was quite that. So he did a lot of.
I wonder if Flora Library has all of his stuff.
I don't know.
If not, they ought to.
So he did biographies, and then he's even doing children's work.
Huh.
Huh.
Interesting.
Get this. France, as in France, made him a Chevalier in the Legion of Honor for his Joan of Arc, Maid of France, in 1925.
Oh, my.
So he wrote a book about Joan of Arc, which I think Joan of Arc's very fascinating.
I think Joan of Arc is fascinating, too, but I'm surprised that it was so good that the country of France honored him.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to be really good, people.
Yeah.
Right there in Xenia.
Right there in Xenia.
In that house that you guys drive by all the time.
Right. Unreal.
Unreal.
One of his most read efforts was a joint work with friend William Allen White. This book of poetry was published in a limited edition in 1893 and was entitled Rhymes by Two Friends.
Ah, cute.
At the time of his death in 1937, Albert was a member of the Pulitzer Prize Committee.
Oh, wow. So he got to help pick the other Pulitzer Prize winners? I bet. That's pretty cool. I want that job.
Isn't this crazy?
Uh-huh.
I really like Albert Bigelow Paine.
I like Albert Bigelow Paine, too. I'm going to track him down. Where is he buried?
I don't know, but another good
cemetery
tour.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down.
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
Write it down. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. So this is one of his things that he wrote. This is kind of a cute thing. It's called Miss Smith by Albert Bigelow Paine. This is his poem. All day she hurried to get through, the same as a lot of women do. And he spelled women, W-I-M-M-I-N.
Oh, funny.
Sometimes at night, her husband said, "Ma, ain't you going to come to bed?" And then she'd kinder give a hitch and pause halfway between a stitch, and sorter sigh and say that she was ready, and she was ready as she'd ever be, she reckoned. And so the years went one by one, and somehow she was never done. And when the angel said as how, "Miss Smith, it's time you rested now," she sorter raised her eyes to look. A second as a stitch she took. "All right, I'm coming now," says she. "I'm ready as I'll ever be, I reckon." That's one of his poems.
Huh. That's good. I found some other pictures of him. I'm going to send these
let's send
right over
so
to
where's
Ty.
he buried?
He's buried in Connecticut. So give me just a second, and I'm going to read that part here.
Oh, my goodness. How'd you find that? Find a grave?
Find a grave, which I was trying to find him earlier, but I hadn't read your article. I didn't realize I was misspelling his last name in my search. So now that I have that figured out, okay, Ty, 2 photos are headed your way.
Let's check him out.
Okay, now, a lot of the stuff that you've already said, but so his home in Xenia is still standing. At the age of 20, he moved to St. Louis, where he trained as a photographer and became a dealer in photographic supplies in Kansas. Then moved to New York. Spent most of his life in Europe, including France, where he wrote 2 books about Joan of Arc.
He wrote 2 of her.
2 of her. Yeah.
What? Oh my gosh, Beth! Look at that.
How cute is he with that that like double bow tie?
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah, he's super cute.
He is.
He was married twice. Once to Dora, but she passed away in 1938. Oh, yeah. Let's see. He married her in 1893. And then he was also married to Minnie.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Yeah.
Minnie and Dora.
So
he had 2 kids, Louise Benjamin Paine Moore.
Yeah.
and then Joy Paine Cushman. But yeah, his full obituary isn't here, but he's buried in New Smyrna Beach. Nope.
Huh?
Well,
it says he's dead.
No,
Yeah,
he died. This is interesting. He died at New Smyrna Beach, Volusia County, Florida.
Yeah.
In 1937, but he's buried
back home in Massachusetts,
in Connecticut.
Oh,
Reading, Fairfield, Connecticut.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. Interesting.
Umpqua Cemetery.
So let's think about it. So he was born in Massachusetts. He lived in several places. Oh, my gosh, look at that picture.
Yes, that's him and Mark Twain playing pool.
Now, that picture's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
Wow. What an interesting picture.
Yeah.
This man from Xenia was playing pool with Mark Twain and wrote books. And then lived in Florida for a while, and then buried back in Connecticut.
Yeah, he died of an illness. He'd had it for 4 weeks.
Oh, really?
4 weeks.
Well, he was only 75.
That
is a great picture.
He liked to spend the winter in Florida.
Wouldn't we all?
And he was en route to New York when he got sick and was brought to the hospital in Florida.
Wow, that was a great picture you found.
Yeah, there's even more.
How did you find the picture of him on Find a Grave?
It just came up with all of his information. So
that's neat.
Yeah, pretty cool guy. His tombstone has the inscription. Some of his writing. It says, "Some evening when the sky is gold, I'll wander down into the west, nor pause nor heed till I behold the happy, happy hills of rest." That gives me chills a little bit.
I'm kind of liking Albert.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what a cool guy. And, that just everybody has a story, and, you can be right here from Clay County and Little Town of Xenia and still.
Yeah. Well, that's because there's
great things.
New Smyrna, Florida. It's like his obituary. Member of the Pulitzer Prize Committee.
Yep.
How neat is that?
He was a big deal, folks.
He was a big deal.
I'm surprised we hadn't covered him before. I hadn't really known much about him.
I don't know, but we're going to now.
Yeah.
He's going to make a great one on the cemetery tour.
Yeah, he will.
Wow.
Be on our list, for sure.
Albert Bigelow Paine, we like you.
Yeah, for sure. Great guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Great guy.
That's awesome. I was going to read something.
Okay.
I was going to read you a little something here. So as I'm going through the hometown journals, okay, I came across Cheerful Chirps.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you think Cheerful Chirps was, who do you think wrote those?
I think it was either Bill or Penny that put those in.
They're little jokes.
Okay.
Okay, so I've taken pictures of a couple because they're funny.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to read this. Okay. Artist. In a few years, people will look at this house and say, Cobalt, the painter, used to live here. Landlady. If you don't pay your rent by tonight, they'll be able to say that tomorrow.
Oh.
Now that's funny.
That sounds like something Bill would have put in there.
That sounds like something Bill would put. Okay.
My money's on Bill for that one, and I think they just used that as filler in places where there needed to be something.
Just a little something there. This is another good one too. Driving up to the house to deliver the family's 7th baby, the doctor almost ran over a duck. Is that your duck out front? The MD inquired. It's ours, but it ain't no duck. It's a stork with its legs worn down.
Oh, funny.
That does sound like something Bill Oliver would put out there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I had all these years of reading the hometown journal. I never knew there were cheerful chirps. So you know what I got to do when I get home tonight?
Yeah, find them.
I got to go back.
I don't think they were in every episode or every edition.
I don't ever remember seeing them.
I think it was just here and there where they needed a little something.
Yeah, I
fill up
was
the
just
space.
nosing here through this time and temperature one. How funny is that?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to end the show with a deep thought by Jack Handy.
I'm sure it's going to be really deep.
Sure, it'll be deep.
Okay. If there was a big gardening convention and you got up and gave a speech in favor of fast motion gardening, I bet you would get booed right off the stage. They're just not ready.
Oh, so silly.
Okay, okay, Ty, real quick, because we got a little time. That picture, I argued in the last episode that because Jack Handy's just so out there and his mind is insane, I'm like, Jack Handy, that's just a fake name. Jack Handy's got to be a chick.
Well, I originally thought it was like a group of writers and not a real person in the beginning. But then someone told me a few weeks ago he was a real person.
He's a real person. I would have thought it was a woman because there's just too much craziness going up in his brain. Women think like this. I never thought a man did. Show that picture of Jack Handy. There's Jack Handy.
That's really him.
And he's got a mouse on his shoulder.
And his eyes are closed.
That is where we're getting our deep thoughts.
And I would love to zoom in on all those Post-it notes. Are those his deep thoughts? What's going on over there?
I bet he just
32 babies. I can make that one out.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah.
Go
crack up.
Go back to diarrhea. That's what one of them says.
So I bet he just in the middle of I bet his mind never shuts down like ours.
Yeah.
I bet he goes and goes and goes and goes and just has.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know that's something that Bill Oliver. Gosh, I wish I had his notepads.
I know.
And I actually started doing this. Bill, his mind worked like that too, and I think when you're creative and you're artistic, it never shuts down.
No, mine never shuts down.
Mine doesn't either. You're constantly thinking.
Yes.
And Bill actually put a notebook by his bed, and then when he woke up, when his brain would wake him up in the middle of the night, and he would jot stuff down.
I kind of do that, but I use my phone. I have a notes app. And if I think of
I
something,
don't
I'll type
do that
it in my
because
phone.
the light wakes me up, but I did start sleeping because it's just it's almost it's a gift and it's a curse.
Yeah.
Because
just like
your
this,
my brain, I swear to God, I could just feel everything just going bouncing off each other.
This morning I had a great idea for work, for a big thing that we're doing at work. And it suddenly dawned on me how we ought to do it for next year and like this great idea. But it was 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, so I just typed a little note in my phone real quick and then I laid back down and I got back up at 7. And then as soon as I got up, I texted it to my boss.
And the thing about it is like if you don't write that down and get that out, it's going to haunt you. You're not going to go back to sleep.
Or
that's all
I
you're going to
lose
think
it
about.
Because my brain bounces to something else and then I go back. I'm like, well, what was it I was going to do? That's why I have to write it down because otherwise it's gone.
Mine's more like it's like, okay, now I'm fixated on that. So that's all I can think about is that one little thing. So if I write it down, then I can just go right back to sleep. That's it. That's our show today. I like that show. That was a good one.
That was a good show. I like Paine.
I liked it.
So,
I liked
anyway,
Paine's.
Yeah, Mr. Paine. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
God bless you and have a great day.